The biggest new car of 2019 will probably also work out to be the smallest. Even though the new Jimny's built like a truck, only has 2 doors and 4 seats, it represents a legend that's in a similar league to the Mustang, Porsche 911 and Volkswagen Beetle. In India at least, where they've made millions of these things with Maruti badges.
And ever since they took the covers off it last year, Australia has been dying to get it on our shores.
I must admit I'm one of you, with my old Zook taking me anywhere back in the day. The new one has all the promise to do exactly the same, but I'm here to find out for sure. Now before I go any further, if you're looking for more detail than I mentioned in this video, check out the full written review at carsguide.com.au, and if you're watching this on YouTube, hit subscribe to stay on top of all our latest videos.
Unlike every other small SUV in production today, the new Jimny retains a properly rugged ladder chassis with solid axles at either end suspended by coil springs and a dual range transfer case. It's the same layout as with the last Jimny, but a new and improved design and exactly what you'd want for proper off-roading, even if it'll be somewhat compromised around town. Given this car has been developed primarily for developing nations, you'd expect it to look like a boring brick on wheels, but it doesn't. It's definitely a brick on wheels, but full of cool little retro Suzuki touches, like the round headlights with the little indicators and the classic grille, but also at the back it's got the big barn door and lights in the bumper, like the classic SJ. The dash is also full of little retro details like the gauges in their surround, the big Jesus handle for the passenger, but it's also nice and roomy in here for people over 6 foot, in the front at least. The materials are also scratch and dirt resistant, but still comfortable to the touch and seem like really good quality.
The back seat is still really only for occasional use, but it's more comfortable than ever back here, and now you've got 2 ISOFIX points on either side for child seat mounts, and the space going through the front door is actually pretty decent. Even though the new Jimny is only being sold in one trim level in Australia, it ticks some pretty surprising modern car boxes, including Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it's even got auto emergency braking. Ultimately, there's no getting around the fact that the Jimny is a tiny car, and you can only fit so much in a tiny car. And that's not much when you've got the back seats up. If you only need 2 seats though, there's heaps of room back here for all your camping gear. The new Jimny may have all the important safety features like auto emergency braking, but Euro NCAP has only given it a 3-star rating out of a possible 5. So it's important to consider that before you sign on the dotted line, but it's also important to understand that it's very hard to develop a car with all the ruggedness of the new Jimny or a Wrangler and still have optimum safety at the same time. And just remember that the Jimny is a $24,000 car, which isn't much. If you're looking at the new Jimny but you have no plans to take it off-road, there's a very good chance you'll be disappointed with what it's like to drive around town. It is so much more refined than the Jimny it replaces, but it's still bumpy pretty much all the time, and the steering lacks feel, and while the 1.5 litre engine will keep up with traffic, you wouldn't call it sprightly. You simply can't expect the new Jimny to play the role of a city hatchback any better than it does. It's fundamentally designed to be a nimble off-roader, and it does a cracking job at just that. The fact that it looks simply adorable is just a pretty cool bonus. One more thing, don't forget to read the full review at carsguide.com.au for all the details, and don't forget to hit subscribe to stay on top of all our latest videos.